recording?
Mm-hmm. Melissa said to wrap up by 1:45.
Okay. Is that temperature okay? And my pressure's okay?
Yes.
Sometimes to save time, I'll do the second cleanse with like a little bit of the poppy seed exfoliant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'll like mix a little bit of cleanser in there, that way it's still
Cleansing.
cleansing, but like I can still get like a little bit of an exfoliation too, because in 15 minutes it's like
It's hard.
a lot of time to do 2 cleanses and an exfoliant and extraction.
It's a good pro tip.
So sometimes I feel like I'm breaking a rule, but I'm like, it's still doing its job. It's still doing what I.
That's right. It's
cleanse and then do a nice exfoliation with the poppy seed exfoliant, and then we're using the watermelon mint toner. And I'm putting it on a cotton round just to kind of like try to pick up any leftover makeup, anything that I didn't get. But you can also mist it. Smells like summertime. Mm-hmm.
Very hydrating
Mm-hmm.
and cooling.
Yeah, nice and soothing. So now is where I would do extractions if I need to. I like to do extractions right after the steam because her skin is nice and soft. But we're gonna skip the extractions for today just so we can get to the next step. But after extractions, I like to use the lavender toner because lavender is antiseptic, antimicrobial, antibacterial. So after extractions, when there may be some bacteria left on the skin, it's nice to go over and try to like kill some of that bacteria with the lavender. But I'm gonna do the multi-fruit acid enzyme mask. And this is a little bit tingly at first. Okay, tingly. And this is gonna bring some really good healthy blood flow to her skin. The enzymes also eat away at dead skin. It's really brightening and it's antioxidant and it's nice and like firming and toning for the skin. So we'll see like a little bit of pinkness come up. It's just blood flow. But I'm also watching for irritation. I have a little left over, so I'm just bringing it down. Might as well use all the product. So now while this is working on her skin for just about like 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how much time you have after extractions. You can do extractions after this step as well. I just find it like a little bit easier right after the steam. So while this is sitting, we're gonna do a little neck and shoulder massage if I can get some. I normally would use like the unscented oil, or yeah, I would normally use the unscented oil or the Sorella massage butter, but we don't have massage butter in here, so I'm just gonna use the lotion. And I'm watching my time and also just watching her skin to make sure that she is not having like a more severe reaction to this enzyme. How's that pressure? It's good, it's nice. So that's probably been about 3 minutes. But again, you can leave it on longer. I think up to 10 minutes, but in a 50-minute, there's no time for that, so we'll go ahead and move on. And at this point, she's getting pretty relaxed. I took out most of the heat on this towel. It's still kind of warm, but something a little bit cooler after the enzyme is nice. Which is why we're doing the ice globes after this. Yeah. And her skin is already glowing. And I like to use the spirulina toner after the enzyme. Now that we have that kind of like that dead skin out of the way, we can really get the spirulina, the collagen, to penetrate a little bit better, and this will help neutralize the enzymes too. So for the massage, we're doing our ice globes. I'm gonna get some, I don't know, I usually do like 8 to 10 pumps depending on the client of the lavender oil. And we're just gonna apply that. I like to go over the eyes gently with the ice globe, so I try to get a little bit of oil there too, so I'm not pulling on that delicate skin around the eye with the globes. Thank you. Get a little oil of these. And then you can just do like whatever you like to do with these. But usually as soon as I touch them down on my client's skin, they smile.
Mm-hmm. It's very soothing.
Yeah, and I think the goal of this facial is to be very like anti-inflammatory, very calming and soothing, especially now we're getting a lot of sun. So we want to promote that like calming and healing in the skin. So nice. And we're not doing this for very long, just like, you know, a few minutes. We can just go over the entire face, neck, and chest 2 to 3 times. So good on the eyes.
So that puffiness.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I like to lift them up and then let the air bubbles go back in. It feels kind of cool on the skin, like she can feel that little blub blub blub.
The sound is.
The
I
sound.
like the sound.
Yeah. Alright. So just like a few minutes of that, we don't have to spend too much time. It's just nice, especially after that enzyme, you get that rush of blood flow, and then to kind of like push the blood flow out and calm down the skin too. Get rid of that puffiness that you were talking about. And then we're gonna remove the oil. And just so you know, with time right now, we are 25 minutes into the facial. And I didn't do extractions, which extractions do take some time, so that's something to consider, but just to show that this is totally doable in a 50-minute time frame. It's a little tight, and sometimes you have to do like compromise a little bit, like with how I mix the cleanser with the exfoliant. But she's still gonna get everything that she needs. And we still have plenty of time for the honey mask. It's kind of a cool sensation too, to have that like tingliness of the enzyme, and then the coolness of the globes, and then the heat of the towel. It's a cool, like, it's a neat combination of different temperatures and sensations. Okay. Oh, sorry. So now with the honey mask, I'm just gonna shake it. You can also warm this in the cabbie. If you want to throw it in the cabbie, like you know, maybe right after you apply the enzyme, you can throw it in there to warm it up a little bit. But it's not really necessary, but it might be nice to have like that warm mask be applied. But the honey doesn't need to be melted, so I pretty much did like 3-ish pumps there. So
This is the honey from our property.
yes, this is our honey from our bees. And we're using an aloe also is mixed in there.
I believe it's aloe and cucumber.
Yeah, there's cucumber. I need to check the ingredients, but there's a few other things in there too. I did look at it, but I didn't write it down or anything, so I need to do that. So I'm just going through and like really applying it. Once I kind of have it all over, I'm going to start with the manipulations. And I'm using these palms, and I'm just alternating with like an quick upward motion. And I can feel it's already getting a little sticky. And in these like smaller areas, I'm just switching to 1 or 2 fingers. And then switching back where I can to all 4 fingers, and then back to 1 finger where I need to. So once I've gone from bottom to top, then I'm going to go in with finger depot-mate, or depot-mate, however you say it. Everyone says it different. And now the honey is pretty sticky. So the last step is to press and lift quickly.
And this is promoting.
So this is promoting collagen production in the skin. Sometimes when you create that tiny bit of trauma, like it's just a tiny bit of trauma. It's not like negative trauma, it's just a little bit of activity to the skin. The skin will respond by producing collagen.
And it's like a snapping sensation.
Kind of, yeah, especially because the honey is kind of sticky. So,
And you can work the fine lines more if you want to.
for sure. Of course, Taylor doesn't have any. But you can, like, if there's, you know, if there's some areas where there's more concern, you can go back in with just one finger and really kind of just focus in those areas. You do want to be a little bit like conscious if someone has really thin skin or very mature skin, they're a little bit more sensitive. This step might be a little bit much for them. It might almost feel like a smack almost, and it's a little bit too intense of a sensation. So you can skip that step if you feel like that's not appropriate for your client. That's fine. Okay. So this will sit on her skin for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how much time you have, during which you can do a hand and arm massage.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
But for time's sake, not today.
Yeah, I think for now we won't do that, but can.
And this mask stays tacky, it doesn't dry. Because
It
the
doesn't
aloe
dry.
and
Because of the aloe, and also, you know, honey left exposed to air will kind of dry, but also because of the aloe and also because of her body temperature, it's gonna stay a little bit soft still, but it's gonna be nice and sticky, and she'll kind of feel it getting a little bit, but it's not gonna be
dry and tight.
right. It's not gonna be getting very tight or anything on her skin, but she can feel it. Like she can feel the sensation and like the texture of the honey on her skin.
Any contraindications?
I
Only if they're
guess-
allergic to honey and lavender or aloe.
Or any of the ingredients that are in the aloe. Yeah. But I mean, honey is anti-inflammatory. It's healing. It can help with like healing scars. It's a brightening. It's antioxidant, antibacterial, antimicrobial. So people with acne, great for that. It's like, what am I trying to say? Antioxidant properties are really good for our more mature clients who are concerned with like signs of aging.
Helps brightening.
It does brighten, and aloe is brightening as well and healing. So that's not like the main
No.
focus of it, but it does have a little bit of that
Property.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I mean, I could still leave this on her while we have time.
Do you want that last towel to be warmer or
It can be
cooler because of
warm.
the honey?
It's probably better for it to be warm because you want to like remelt the honey so it's easier to remove.
Okay.
So it's probably better that it's warm. This will stay warm. Hold up like this in my hand, but we'll just leave it for a couple more minutes. But yeah, I mean,
On the video, it's 30 minutes.
yeah. So you have plenty of time to do like your hand and arm massage, remove the mask, do your finishing products. You probably even have time if you want to like jot down a couple of things. I mean, you know, I didn't do extraction, so you have to keep that in mind. Sometimes extractions take longer than I mean for them to take. So I feel like that's, if anywhere, that's where I kind of lose my time, is during extractions. But this is the last towel that we're going to use, so I'm going to make it worthwhile. like to really like press down that pressure, especially across the zygomatic bone. Feels so good with the heat. And then I like to press down and kind of like lift up too on the zygomatic bone. Feels so good. And kind of just hold there too. Because if you just do it for a second, it's like, oh, well, it felt good for a second,
Right.
but it's like it lasts a little longer. And then even on the eyes, I kind of cup my hands over the eyes, and then I don't put pressure directly on the eye, but kind of with the towels, I can direct pressure, and it feels really good. So it's removing really easily. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, there's this like sticky mess, and it's not like that at all. And you're just applying a thin layer. There's not like, you're not putting like gobs of honey on her, so. I try to get like right behind the ear here too, because that's where I tend to leave stuff, and she'll be sticky after if I don't get there. So
Skin has a nice glow.
yeah, it looks really healthy now.
It does.
All right, so now after the honey mask, we're gonna do a mist shower. So we're just gonna grab our lavender toner. We're gonna hold it a little bit high, and we're gonna do 20 pumps. And then whatever finishing products you want to use. I think you can push stop.